Cruel World was the first song me and the band at Nashville started to play. And that was when we really knew, I think, that we had something, because we were playing it really loosely and had really heavy drums in it, but we're still going for that West Coast feeling. So by the end of the day, we loved all the takes we had, and we just really felt like we were really onto it. Like once we did Cruel World on that first day, we knew exactly what we were going for. So it really set the tone for the record. And for me, it's my favorite song. Hands down, it's just my most favorite. I took it to heart because he never says anything. He's so quiet. So I sat on it for about 6 months and really thought about it. But I knew I wanted a record called Ultraviolence, and that song in particular stood out to me. So eventually I reworked a song called Melancholia into Ultraviolence. Shades of Cool is another really important track for me on the record because it kind of embodies that underground jazz sound that I'm such a big fan of. In Brooklyn Baby, I go back to the East Coast, but still have a kind of casual, loose feeling sonically. I was just reminiscing about my days in Brooklyn, my days with my boyfriend on South 8th Street, how happy I was listening to his vintage vinyl, and being such a big fan of beat poetry and Jack Kerouac and Lou Reed. And so it was just kind of a nod to all things Brooklyn cool. West Coast was kind of an extension of everything I had been feeling so far on the record. It started with Cruel World, which I felt really West Coast based because of the guitars, the wah-wah guitars. And then having done Brooklyn Baby, we went back to the West Coast, but kind of kept that easy, casual beat and got even slower. Sad Girl, because I'm still sometimes a sad girl. Still things beyond my control. Sometimes I do things that I want above maybe what I should do. And it also is in that key of blue, reminds me a lot of Shades of Cool, and stays within the theme of the record in that way. Pretty When You Cry, one of my favorite tracks on the record. Also, I did that with my guitar player from my band, Blake Stranathan. And the reason why I loved this track, we recorded at Electric Lady Studio that very first take of just us playing around, which is why I rhyme the same word with the same word, which was kind of strange, but the intention in the voice was really there. It was kind of non-affected, and I wasn't thinking too hard about what I sounded like or what I was portraying, and for that reason I really like how authentic that one feels. And so it was like an important key to making the record really organic, in my opinion. I laid that one down with someone I had never met before, Greg Kirsten, and I just wrote it at a time when I was feeling really frustrated, when I felt like all anybody was going to allow me was maybe, if I was lucky, money, and then power in the form of infamy rather than fame. And it was just more of a sarcastic response psychologically just to what I felt was going on. Fucked my way up to the top. The one track I have trouble talking about. Yeah, and that's just like how things had turned out, and also really an element of surprise too about the way things were going, and I think that's kind of reflected by the vocals being really soft but the beat being really hard. It's like there's a sense of confusion within that track because I was confused. Old Money is probably one of the tracks on the record that's the most idyllic of them all. It's more based in kind of fantastical snapshots I have of being on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Like I was channeling something. It's really my oldest track on the record because it's a song that's been in the works for about 5 years. It was called Methamphetamines at first. And what's funny is I had to talk to my publishing company because I didn't know that I was referencing a melody from the original score of Romeo and Juliet from, I think, the 60s. And it was so similar that, half of the publishing belongs to them as well now. But obviously I was channeling something really nostalgic. For me, it's also one of my favorite tracks. It's a cover, yeah, and The Other Woman was, for me, the best way to end the record because I started it with jazz and I wanted to end it with jazz. And I felt like with everything that had been said, what you've read and what's been recycled over and over again, let me give you a little bit of direction towards what's shaped my life in ways that have even surprised me. So, and plus I'm a huge fan of Nina Simone, and yeah.